What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Friday to you all. 11 a.m. in New York, 8 a.m. in Vancouver, British Columbia, 9 a.m. here in Costa Rica, and I am ready to rock. I am pumped up. What's making me pumped up? The IIHF World Championships in hockey has begun. I'll be capping it all, making official picks on the show. Man, there's some exciting lineups and exciting plays. I put out my futures last night. Official plays that we'll be recording. I put out my 3 picks, but because it's a World Championships and having a bad month, what I decided to do was parlay them for a big score instead of betting them individually. So I decided to parlay them. I just put a $100 parlay at plus 347, and it is going quite nicely. And you guys can give me updates. We got so much to go over right now. We have such a huge Friday sports card. But right now it's 1-1 Finland, Canada. I have Finland plus 1.5. Let me pull up my exact action here quickly. Sorry, let me just pull it up. So just to let you guys know what I'm on. And I could find myself in a perfect situation here. And you get that when you pick, when I would go to Vegas and bet baseball, I would always go for the big score. What I would do is I'd pick 4 games, and I'd bet the first 3 individually, and I'd put the 4 on a parlay. And then the 4th game would be whoever would be the biggest favorite in California. And that way, if I won my first 3 games that happened before the biggest favorite in California, I would then just bet on the dog, so that, hedge with the dog, so that either way, it would be a $1,000 win, generally speaking. And that's what I'm going to be able to do here with the IF if we keep rolling. So I have Russia to win outright at plus 240. Video game hockey team: Malkin, Kucherov, Ovechkin, Dadonov, Kuznetsov. Who am I missing? Kovalchuk? Maybe I should miss him. He's a bum. But just an incredible team. Canada's not looking as strong because Tavares is gone. So I have 200 on Russia to win outright, plus 240, and Russia to win Group B at plus 100. Then I have Russia to win Game 1 over Norway, minus 3.5. And that's dangerous in Game 1, but I just trust this Russia squad. Russia minus 3.5. They're up 2-0 after the first. I have Finland plus 1.5, fading my Canadians, which I'll be doing a lot because Johnny Tavares got hurt before the series started. I don't think they're that good. They don't look that bad. Finland plus 1.5 with no NHLers at minus 112. And then I have USA minus 1.5 and minus 193 to complete the $347 parlay. But if I take Slovakia at plus 1.5, I get plus 137. So why not put myself in a situation where I can't lose? Which is what I will do. If we get there. Okay, sorry. So IHF, I'm pumped. So those were my 3 official plays. I'm staying away from Sweden, Czech Republic in the game today. Sweden, 2-time defending champion. This is not a strong team, although Pedersen is a beast. And I just want to watch what they do. Those games, I believe, let me just quickly check here exactly what time they start. Sorry, they start at 2 p.m. Eastern. And I'm interested in the over 5.5, but if I'm live to the parlay, I'll keep things simple to guarantee profit. All right, so I'm pumped. IHF World Championships, we're going to be capping it for the next month hard. Shout out to all the cappers in the chat. We got Brian Watson, Vinny Cornell, Molly Cruel. Love this. Here, parked, waiting. My man Jimmy, what's up? Molly Cruel in the house. I love it. Anna Merrick, ready to rock. Anna Merrick's going to be joining us in 40 minutes to break down UFC 237 in Rio de Janeiro. And my girl, Rose, fighting, who Pete Loshak tries to keep telling me that she looks like River Phoenix, and it has affected it. It's affected it. All right, Brandon Lugo in ours. We got Dennis Garcia says, why can't the Bills win 7 games this year? Guy, I can't wait to be rocking the Audible all year with Donnie Rightside and the Whale Capper. Speaking of Donnie Rightside and the Whale Capper, Donnie Rightside will be here on our late show, live, in person. Donnie Rightside, King Rail, Friday late show. Check it out. We got Matt Randall. Taint play of the day cashed again, and I was afraid to take it because the roof was open. My mistake. It was a crazy day yesterday in baseball. Pushed the Rockies -1, 2 late runs from the Giants. What a crazy game that was. Push that. my over in the White Sox game was voided because it, and I thought that was going to hit, voided because of weather at 5-0 after 5. And then I hit easily with my Cardinals Pirates over, and then I thought I was going to hit with the Nationals Dodgers over, but Dodgers couldn't get me one run, not one run all game to make that happen. So it was a push there. But I hit in NBA. I told you guys, we'll talk about that more in a bit. But I only had one play in NBA last night. CJ McCollum over 21.5 points, got 30. Shout out to my guy, Lee Davis. Lee Davis showed me some of the props he was on. I was like, you know, this is exactly what I needed. Someone to push me towards McCollum. Shout out to my guy, Lee. We got Scott Feinstein in the house, says fade Homer Bailey. Sorry, we went up a little fast. Oh, wow, lots of chat. Man, I'm a little behind. Says fade Homer Bailey. Phillies money line. He also likes the Angels money line. And we got Walla Walla Dose, Paco Healy, Jim Rome's a douche. Congratulations to your Sixers. Sets up one of the craziest Sundays of our entire lives coming up. Jim Rome's a douche. Oh, man. Yellow Jesus here to bless our picks. Says see you in Game 7, Jimmer. No! Big game, and we're not. Finally. Every time the Raptors are in a big Game 7, it's at like 11 in the morning because the NBA doesn't care about us up north. Not this one, thankfully. All right. Paco Healy in the house is, Jimmy, we have you on our Roku cooking breakfast. Can you shout out the SMC4A crew? Man, see, so many of us do so little to help the world. Here is Paco Healy and the SMC4A crew out there saving lives. A huge asset to society. Much love to the SMC4A crew. The world is a better place because you guys are in it. Now let's make some money, shall we? Add to that. Let's make some cash. Shout out to my guy Paco Healy. San Diego SMC4A crew. What a guy. Kevin Pine. We have so much work to do. I got to rock through these guys because this means so much to us. Demetrius Miller, they're 802 here in San Diego. Demetrius Miller, you got to hook up with Paco Healy. Guy's money in the bank. So much fun. We got Cobra Sports. Tom Marino Tomor says, I hit with Boston puck line to have a winning night. Yeah, I wish I wasn't scared. But everybody got me so scared. And I'm so happy the IHF World Championships are here so I can start capping hockey, get some confidence moving into these conference finals in NHL. Bartender in the house, Matt Randall. Matt Randall's taint play today is cashing at just an alarming rate. Like in a rate where we have to let everybody know, just only focus on taint from here on in. Fits for us. Lesson learned that Seattle, New York under, cold weather, huge factor. That's what I said. Again, I didn't have the balls to take it, but I was very uncomfortable. Even though that in the morning it went from 9 to 9.5, and in the afternoon it went from 9.5 back to 9. Brandon Lugo, Dav Fenn, Gin Rummy in the house. We got Dom Ricci. Dom Ricci, my guy Dom Ricci. We got Rockstar ready to go. Carlos Perot and his cheesy balls. Says Carolina wasn't ready at all. Were they watching the game at the picnic area? Man. Kevin Pine says Russia versus Hungary. No, this is Russia versus Norway. We got Molecular Ninja in the house. You know, we're going to talk about that very quickly here because we've got through the World Championships already. Ergo Cossack says, completely agree, Jimmy. Russia is an obvious play. Yes, and it doesn't always work like that, but World Championships is in Europe. The obvious plays when they come out of North America and go over to Europe, that's when they go down in flames. I think that Ovechkin, Malkin, Kovalchuk, some of these guys have a lot to... No, Ovechkin has nothing to prove, so he doesn't work. But Malkin, bad season. Kovalchuk, terrible season. Kuznetsov, bad season. And Dadonov has something to prove that he can play up on this level. I love it. And then I also think that some of these guys are like, really, is Kucherov the best Russian in the world? Let's show him that maybe he's not. I love what they're going to do. Okay. Ergo Costa said basically it's a home crowd for the Czechs too with the old brothers. Yeah, I'm not messing with that Czech-Sweden game. In fact, the more we talk about it, but Ramon Scott says Sweden minus 225, roll with the champs in the opener. I don't like their roster, and we don't have time to break down the whole rosters right now. Gabe Paskey says Bruins was easy. Canes were better than I thought, but got the win. Wow, okay. Yeah, I mean, they look good early. All right, let's just give one more shot. We got Gabe Paskey, Timothy Mitchell, Bernard Avo, watching from Dubai. Bernard Avo, what a treat, watching from Dubai. Sweet, man. One of my buddies comic out there right now. He's hanging out there doing shows. I don't know how long he's going to be there. Matt Billen. Bernard, he's doing shows the whole time he's out there. We should talk. You should check him out. He's hilarious. Ilya Katz, Robert Cherry says, let's cap some sports. Okay, that's what I needed. Moses Alvarez Said, I told you to ride with Darvish last night. You were bang on. Puppy Longwood, Maurice Hooker, Sweaty Butcher, Top Set. Jansen Bonds and Maine 910 from Alaska. Tease. Okay, let's get to work. Nut Flush Allen. Okay, let's get to work. All right, let's get to work right now. Okay, so now let's quickly talk basketball. First off, I hope, we all, now, it's easy for me to sit back here and hope I'll learn something. I didn't have the balls to take the other side of what everybody was on. But I knew to stay off, and that's a safe thing to do. And I said it, how many times did I talk about Tomor yesterday? When I came down here, that was his thing. Any team loses by 30 points, he just backs them the next game. And I don't remember him ever losing. The association sets it up for you to think this is so simple, and it's never like that. Blazers take care of business. Sixers take care of business. They want game sevens. The association is tricky. And whenever something looks too good to be true, in NBA, it is. In NHL, it's not. In NHL, it's black and white. But so let's talk about the Warriors, Rockets. I've heard a lot of sharp takes. A lot of sharp takes about how the Warriors needed motivation, and now they've been given the motivation with Kevin Durant out. Let's take a quick look at what we're seeing with spreads and totals here at sportsbookreview.com, SBR odds page. More money coming in on the Rockets. It was 7s yesterday. It opened at 6. Now it's 7.5s. The total opened at 211.5. It's gone up to 214. I feel like I sort of missed that. The Herb says, thank you for putting me on the Embiid under. Isn't that crazy? And I stayed off of that too because I was scared. But Embiid and this is what we talked about. Embiid has a really good game and started poorly in the first quarter. Has a really good game and he still doesn't hit the 35.5. Okay. Don Reed says, check that White Sox first 5. Toronto hasn't won the first 5 in 2 weeks. I like the White Sox here tonight. Domino says, it's a big advantage for Houston with a Game 7 schedule at 12 on Sunday. Warriors can't play their starters, major midgets. Houston is much deeper. The pressure's on Houston, though. I agree. Okay, so let's talk about this. T says, Jimmy wearing the Angels cap, bet the other way today. Fade the teams Jimmy wears hat that day. That probably actually does work. Okay, Sacktown King says, Rockets take care of business tonight. Shout out to our guy, Sacktown King. He was on the, I wonder if he took it last night, but I didn't go back. That's another thing that I tried to stop doing is go back to the same bet 2 plays in a row. Traditionally, I'm not successful there. You got Moss, and I said Portland big. Sorry, everyone, only 11-point win. You were bang on. Ben 24/7 is Rockets -7. Now, I'm going to wait till King Rail joins us. And I've got the Rockets futures, and I will be so angry if the Warriors win. So I've heard a lot of very sharp takes about how the Warriors need motivation, and now they've got it. I've heard a lot of sharp cappers that are on the Warriors money line tonight. There are parallels between what happened last year and what happened this year, what happened last year. Just different uniforms. Chris Paul last year, KD this year. And Chris Paul was terrible in Game 5 when they needed him most. 3 for 14 from the field, 0 for 6 from 3. What do you get? 6 assists, 6 boards. Now, I've made a mistake throughout the playoffs and player props expecting these veterans because of a vividness bias to step back up. And I'm going to try not to do that with Chris Paul, but my heart says, oh, he'll do it for you. He'll come back. But my wallet doesn't want me to do it. We're going to talk about this game more when we have King Rail. At this point, I wish I got on the over earlier. But even that, I've got $100, just $100 on the Rockets win the conference at plus 333. I got $150 on them to win the championship at plus 750. And I just feel like I just got to let that ride. And I know that's taking away from my capping because I'm doing the exact same thing in hockey right now with the Sharks. It's affecting my capping. There's Ski Profit. And he says, sorry, Jimmy, can't wait till Rockets lose the series with no KD. Shout out to our guy, Ski Profit, whom we love dearly. And that's a lot of sharp takes. A lot of the sharpest NBA guys I know are saying that. Exactly that. There's my guy born in 94, straight out of Van City. A lot of people are saying that. Underdog says, Jimmy, you predict the NBA would have 2 Game 7s and Embiid would have good game to standard. And I got $0 out of that. I did get 136, not even. I got minus 125. I have to see what I got. I did get, Whatever. Let's not. I went 1-1 with the McCollum over, and I'll take that. Okay. Don Corleone says, I'm telling you, this won't be a walk in the park. Oh, I don't think it'll be a walk in the park. And I don't walk in the park either, by the way. I don't take walks in the park. I don't even know what that is. Most guys alone walking in the park are just hoping to assault a woman or rob a man. And also, they're called strollers. I guess there's another, there's C. There's the third box. Now, I don't even want to get into strolling. Okay, let's just stay focused and not think about the park. I don't think this is going to be easy. That's what I mean. I don't think it's going to be easy. But I expect the Rockets to take care of business here. I expect the Rockets to take care of business in Game 6 and take care of business in Game 7. And I expect these guys who are saying the Warriors are going to take care of everything without KD and that they need motivation to be too smart and too sharp for their own good. And we see that in the NFL all the time. Now, Ski, I've got so much love for you. But I need this money. All right, let's move on to baseball. And we're going to have King Rail on the Late Show. We're going to talk about it more. Let's see what you guys say. Poppy Longwood said he's wrong today. Houston will dismantle them Warriors by 23. There's Poppy Longwood, 23. R. Hayes says Curry's wife's stressing him. Yeah, I get it. Tom Marino says NBA wants a Game 7. They put BS fouls on Thompson and Curry. Golden State's likely in trouble without Durant. Murphy Jr. says, I love a walk in the park. Tijuana Dave, Golden State Warriors, best bet +7. You can get 7.5 right now. Demetrius Miller says CP3 getting paid $31 million. He has to show up. Man, I need Houston to win this title. I need the Sharks to win the Cup. First, I'll go to the Bay Area to celebrate the Sharks Stanley Cup parade. Then I'll go down to Houston, hang out with my guy Scarface, and enjoy the NBA championship parade. T says fade the strollers bombs. Fade the strollers bombs. All right. Jesse Daly says Water Park doesn't count. Okay. Von Bridges says Rockets roll Golden State, win in 7. Please, Von Bridges, make that happen. And there's Lamont Williams. Am I the only one? I hope I'm not the only one noticing that he's cashing all these max bets over and over and over again. Okay. Dave LA says, what up, Capper? Just made my bet. I take every year since 2008. It's won 9 of 10 times. Ooh, shit. I'm looking forward to that. Red Girl says, I tailed that, Lamont. Lamont Williams. You guys, this is why this show is good. It's because of all you guys putting all the energy into the chat. It's not what's happening here. It's what's happening there. And Lamont Williams handing out winner after winner. Matt Randall, winner after winner. So many of you guys, I'm flooded with names in my head about guys handing out winner after winner. If I just only listened and never spoke, I'd have more money in my pocket. Tomino says Paul's being garbage most of the series. Keys Gordon. Gordon and Harden have good games. Houston should be fine. Ben Sports 24/7 says Curry shot ain't been on all playoffs. Don't see Golden State taking on this one, especially without KD. Okay. Let's get to work. Let's get to work. We have a morning game here, Brewers-Cubs. Let's see if we got the lineups out. We do. Brewers are going with Kane, Yell. Oh, sorry, we haven't got the records. There's no NHL day, so who cares about that? NBA record went up 1 unit. 1 unit with the McCollum over. And then baseball went down, what, 0.15 units. You could throw baseball up there as well. Rafa, baseball went up. Or worse, it got worse because I ended up 1-1 because of the 2 pushes. And the late game, I got -115 over 7 and whatever. Okay, Brew Crew, Kane, Yelich, Braun, Grandal, Aguilar, Moustakas, Perez, Arcia. For the Cubbies, Almora Jr., Bryant, Rizzo, Baez, Contreras, Bodie, Hayward, Russell. Let's quickly look at what we're getting for odds here. 8.5 down to 8 now. The Cubbies open up as -128 favorites, a 5-cent move towards the Brew Crew. These are 2 very hot teams. 52 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 7 miles per hour in. Gonzalez. What are we going to get from Gonzalez? 2 starts against the weak-hitting Mets. 0-0, 2.61 ERA, 0.97 whip. He had a lot to prove to that Mets team, too. Jose Quintana, 4-1, 3.40 ERA, 1.29 whip. He got lit up, I believe his first start of the year, by the Brew Crew. Matt Randall, taint played, Braves +120. I'm going to grab it here. Edit. Copy. We got Russell Gordy in the house. We got EJ in the house, says Minnesota Moneyline lock of the day. Thank you, you got Moss. I have the tiniest sliver of hope right now. Russell Gordy saying they're disrespecting Steph. Hey, disrespect Steph all you want. Just do not disrespect Steph's mom. Because she's fine. All right, we got 2 very hot teams. Cubs have won 10 of their last 11. Milwaukee's won 6 straight. Brewers are hitting 266, 826 OPS versus lefties. Cubs are hitting lefties hard as well. 240, 789 OPS. Both teams' offenses are rolling. Bryant, Rizzo, they each homered. Bryant has what? Bryant's now got 4 homers last 5 games. Rizzo has 6 homers past 11 games. Yelich is a beast. As I said, Brewers hammered Quintana on April 5th. 8 hits, 3 walks, 8 runs, 3 innings. But he historically has been good against the Brewers, but we should probably put a line through that. Because this is just, we should only focus on what he was like last year. And look, you know what? I take that back. Last year, 4-1, 2.13 ERA. Gonzalez signed with the Brewers on April 26th. He's had a nice go of it. Do we back him here? No. Okay, I tell you what. I'm not backing Gonzalez under any circumstances. Oh, please, Robert Cherry. I need that bad. Gas station Shoot said, Taint is hotter than my girlfriend's sister. Man. Russia up 4-0, says Ergo Caustic. Let's go! Put myself in a can't-lose situation. I haven't been parlaying in a little while. Feels real good. Real good. Take a little gap jump with a parlay. Feels really good. Dat fan says, does Gio Gonzalez suck? Could he possibly be good today against the hot Cubs team? No. I agree with that. I agree with that. Carlos Perot says that's a low total for a Cubs game. I like the over 8. That kind of scares me. You got it's just because the market's going down. Trenton Claxton on Cubs first 5. I like that. But how big of a favorite are they right now? They're not big. Minus 120. I like Cubs first 5. I like Quintana. Let's just go with quick look. Just a quick look at the bullpens, and then we got so much work to do. We'll move right on. Quick look at the bullpens here. Sorry, let me get them up. Here we go. Bullpen rankings. Okay, there we go. All right, let's take a quick look. Here we go. Bullpen rankings. A dangerous Milwaukee team. They haven't been great this year. Very similar numbers. Actually, the Cubs are a little bit better numbers. All right, maybe we jump on it right now. Ergo Caustic, 3 for 3 on the power play. How scary is that? Oh, Ron Crawford, thank you. I mean, I have it in my Google, or not Google, I have it in my spreadsheets, the calculator, but you're telling me how to explain it. I'm going to check it out, Ron Crawford. Thank you so much. Nut Flush On says, headphones dead, listening to the show on speakers. I deliver Pepsi, and the store owner asked me to turn it off. I told him if I turn it off, you're not getting a delivery. End of story. He took it. I love it, Nut Flush Allen. I love it. What a guy. What a guy. Okay, Quintana is much better at home, but Milwaukee has a big bullpen advantage. I think that first 5 is a good look. I think that first 5 is a great look. Who gave us that first 5? Sorry, we're going so fast here. Trenton Claxton. Trenton Claxton finds winners. I got some too, Russell Gordy. I'm looking forward to talk about that, but I like your look on the Orioles. Okay, I'm in. I'm in. I'm going to take Cubbies first 5. I'm getting minus 120 at BetOnline. Cubs first 5. I think Gio Gonzalez had so much to prove to the Mets after they got rid of him. I think it's great. I'm in. Topset says, Jimmy, Russia, are we capping the Soviets also? This Russia team is very scary. Very, very scary. I want to play Xbox when I look at their lineup. We're going to make money off them. Shout out to our guy, Noli Knows. On Point Wager says, I'm on the Brewers today. Jesse Davis said, I like Brewers minus 1.5. Cubs struggled hitting yesterday. They did not look good against the Marlins, but the Marlins sort of have their number. So let's keep rolling. Okay. Ron Crawford shouting out, Noli said he killed it yesterday. This guy kills it all the time. Rockstars on Brewers full game. The fight analyst here in the house. Love seeing that. Okay, let's keep rolling. Lucky Lefty says, sorry about first 5 pit yesterday, family. Lucky Lefty, low baggers don't need to apologize. We know we'll hit over 54% running with you. Robert Cherry says, love for the Cubs just seems like faded. It just seems like it faded. Okay. I'm going to keep rolling. Okay, I'm going to keep rolling. I like it. I like Cubs first 5. Okay. And Orioles. I agree with Russell Gordy. I think the Orioles have a ton of value here. I like Dan Straley. Let's see if there's been a move. Now, I know Dan Straley, some of his peripherals make him look terrible, but he's a good pitcher at home, and I know this isn't really his home. He was one of the few guys to actually make me money last year. I just feel like he's better than his numbers show. Let's go to full game. Wow, that's a 6. The over is a 6. First 5. That's crazy. Open at 10's now 11. Angels taking money. Open at minus 150. Now 26-cent move towards the Angels. I wonder if we're better off even waiting. Dave Bartender says Angels big time. I just feel like there's a few dogs today that have value for a big score. Is Dave LA still in the chat? Would like to hear what Dave LA says about his Angels. Orioles +1 at +105. Jansen Bonds is saying Straley is awful. Let's talk about this game a little more. Angels hitting 262, 794 OPS versus righties. Orioles are hitting 237, 694 OPS. Don Mitchell liking the under. I like that too. I am going to do that. Gas station sushi is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the Rangers as well. I'm going to go for a big score. Mark Navarro says, are you talking about MMA today? As you see, fight analyst in the chat. Yes, Anna Merrick will be on the show in 18 minutes. Christopher Comentini liking the over. Top Set says Dave is on Angels. Dave LA says Angels have better bats and bullpen. Yeah, of course they do. That's why they're a big favorite on the road. Angels have a much better bullpen. So by that, if I think that we have a bit of an advantage with Straley over Cahill, especially with the way Cahill's been pitching lately. Also, the Angels coming off 13 runs and against the Tigers. Is that going to continue? Mike Trout working his way out of his slump right now. 284, 7 homers, 21 RBIs. Doesn't sound like Mike Trout. Shohei Ohtani starting to roll. Orioles played tough. Russell Gordy says, wait, you can get a bigger line on Baltimore. I bet you I can too. Okay, I'm going to back Baltimore. I'm just not sure how. Maybe first 5 is the best way to do it, but I thought that bullpen is looking better. And Michael Givens, I think he's got closer material. I think he's got closer stuff. T says, fade that hat, pick Orioles money line. I agree. Nice. Oh, I've noticed EJ in the chat. Moses brought his boy EJ. I like it. Don Mitchell says Angels can hit a decent pitcher. Russell Gordy says it's not about Straley. Stress that, Jimmy. Tom Marino says Straley doesn't pitch deep. I was very impressed with the Orioles series against the Red Sox. Okay, I think Russell Gordy's right. I'm going to take the Orioles in some form or another, but I'm going to talk to Dave LA a little more about it. Alan X said Angels 7-1 last 8 versus Orioles. KL has good numbers against them. Tough to take Angels as a big road favorite, though. I'm going to take the Orioles, but I think he's right. All right, let's talk about another dog that I'm taking. It's not as big of a dog, and it's gotten worse, so we got to take it now. I'm taking the Chicago White Sox today. Top Set says Orioles +1 would be the play. Nah, not for me, Top Set. I'm going to go for a score. I'm going to take Orioles -1 if I take them. I'm going to take these dogs -1. I want big scores. I want big plus lines. Dylan Covey. What do we think about him? Dave LA says, Jimmy, send me that Orioles with PayPal. Christopher Smith says, Baltimore is sick, Jimmy. Sick is a good thing in some conversations. Jim Rummy says, Orioles over 10 was the play. Now it's 11. Okay, let's keep rolling. White Sox hitting 253, 747 OPS versus righties. Jays are hitting 213, 645 OPS versus righties. Jays have a 15-22 record. It's going to get worse, and it's going to get worse fast. This team's terrible. Covey was recalled from AAA Charlotte for the Knights. He looked fine May 5th against Boston Red Sox. 2 runs, 5 hits over 4 2/3. He looked great in Charlotte. Blue Jays have lost 5 in a row, 8 of 9. They were out hit 18-2 yesterday. They're a bad baseball team. Now, Buchholz is probably better than his numbers, but maybe he's not. I'm going to take the White Sox on the -1 line. I think Covey has a good start. He knows that he does not have a job in Major League Baseball. Oh, wow. Jesse Daly says my book says pitching change for the Jays. Is that right? Anybody else? Let's see what we got here. I don't want to make a move that's just going to be canceled. Wow. Yeah. Pitching change for the Jays. Okay. It's off the board. So we're going to wait on that. Man, okay. Dustin H liking Orioles team total over. Maybe that's a great way to play it, Dustin H. That's a great idea. Orioles team total over right here at Pinnacle. Orioles team total over. But I would want to take first 5 team total over just because of the very, very good Angels bullpen that might be a little tired. First 5's over 3.5 at +107. And then I guess, of course, Pinnacle, sharpest book in the game, knowing exactly. And then the full game is 4.5. Wow, that's wild. They have so much respect. Dave LA says, I'm betting the Angels every day in May. Oh. Top set says under in White Sox. CT base like in the under 11 in Baltimore. Okay, it's a pitching change right now. I've got to look at that pitcher. So the first two plays I have not done yet. And I don't need to worry because these games are all after 7 o'clock. And Dave LA says, yes, that's the only value I see in that game is Orioles first 5 team total over. Okay, I'm going to make these notes here. Oh, I'm already on Cubs first 5 of that game. Okay, so first 5 team total over, question mark. And, okay. All right. Let's keep rolling. Let's keep rolling. What strategic investments joining us? Love this. Let's see. Sorry, Baltimore, Cahill. Wow, giving us the average lines. Nice stats from strategic investments. Love having them here. Okay. And look at this. Gas station sushi coming in, giving us action here. Action. I love it. I'm going to copy and paste this right now. Sorry, quickly. There we go. Here we go. So I just copied and pasted gas station sushi. So Valterra track, a track I don't hit very often. Spirit Warrior at 10-1, 2 units. Number 7, race 5. Interesting. Okay, let's keep rolling. Let's keep rolling here. So I'm going to make moves on those 2 games. Can't make them now. Marlins, Mets, Pablo Lopez, Zach Wheeler. We've had some people in our chat, and L being one of them, I believe. I even think Pabano touched on it, but Pablo Lopez might be a bet-on pitcher. But Zach Wheeler has a huge upside. Marlins are hitting 214, 592 OPS versus righties. Mets are hitting 237, 693 OPS versus righties. Marlins come in with the worst record in Major League Baseball. Let's see what we're getting with the Marlins. The total, oh, that can't be right. Can't have opened at that. Let me just see quickly what Pinnacle opened the total at. We'll go with that. Yeah, Pinnacle opened at 7. It's at 7 right now. And let's see what it opened with money line here. Open, that can't be right either. Something's wrong with the opening lines I got here. Let's see what Pinnacle opened this money line at. Pinnacle opened the Mets at minus 165, so there's been a 10-cent move at Pinnacle for the Mets. Top set says Baltimore first 5 over 2s at minus 120 at Heritage. Wow. That's unbelievable. And it's over 3.5 at Pinnacle. Wow, I can't even believe that. That's just absolutely wild. Mr. Fat Fist is in business. Mr. Fat Fist joining us. CT Bay says Mets run line with the day of rest. Wheeler being good. Robert Cherry liking the over 7. We do have nice conditions there. 68 Fahrenheit, 11 miles per hour to straight away center. Marlins just completed a 4-game series. They struggled, but won 3 of the 4. Or sorry, lost 3 of the 4. Sorry, I was thinking about the Cubs. Marlins played well in that series. They deserve better. They lost 3 of the 4. They lost that last game 4-1. Lopez didn't factor in the decision Sunday against the Braves. But throws 6 scoreless. Only appearance against the Mets came in his Major League debut last June 30th. 2 runs over 6 innings. He's a good pitcher. I'm not entirely sure. Oh no, DJ Big Boss says after that bad beat last night, I'm retiring my whistle. No! 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 Can't do that. Please, we need that whistle. Russell Gordon like Mets first 5. I think Lopez is a undervalued pitcher. I think he's dangerous. I think that there's a reason why it's at 7 with the wind blowing out. But Tormino says Lopez can get hammered at any time. Plus 160 isn't enough for me to back him. Okay, let's keep rolling. Yankees, Rays. Herman versus Glasnow. Both have 6 wins on the season. Yankees, Rays. Total open at 7.5. And Pinnacle's already brought it down to 7. Expecting some nice pitching performances from these 2. Tampa Bay opens at minus 135. A 6-cent move on them at BetOnline. Yankees hitting 259, 792 OPS versus righties. Rays hitting 262, 796 OPS versus righties. Yankees have won 16-22, just a game and a half back of the Rays. Herman and Glasnow have been very, very, very good this year. Herman entered the season with a 2-7 record, 5.22 ERA, 5.57 ERA in 21 appearances last season. This year, he's a beast. This year, 6-1, 2.35 ERA, 0.89 WHIP, 39 Ks, 38 and a third. He's awesome. And same with Glasnow. But Herman has bad numbers against Tampa, but who cares? He's a different pitcher now. Glasnow entered this season in his career 4-16 with a 5.35 ERA. Man, the Rays make good trades. Joe Anisi leaning to New York at this price. Dave LA on the other side saying Rays are nothing. This is tough. This is a very tough spot. This is a very tough spot. I can understand why Pinnacle has moved to the under. I think this will be a very well-pitched game. And we're getting 7.5. How long are we going to get 7.5 for? Not long, I guess. Not long. Let's see what the first 5 under is. I'm thinking that we make a move on the under here. Let's quickly see what we get. Totals. First half. Excuse me. Yankees, Rays, 3.5. 4s, but 4s right now from Herman and Glass now. Wow, I find that appealing. I find that appealing. I really do. I find Glass now and Herman appealing at 4, but is that too low? I think they're going to be throwing ace-type stuff. What do you guys think about Ben Sports 24/7's on the Yankees team total under? Russell Gordy's on the Rays book it. Don Mitchell giving us a final score of Rays 5-1. Strategic investments. Love having him here with all these stats. Robert Cherry says Tampa Bay no score in the first. Top set seeing I see a 5-2 Yank score. I think this is a first 5 under. And no score in the first is going to be juiced. I'm going to do it. Lamont Williams max bets first 5 under. Is that? Oh, he is. Sorry, how did I miss Lamont Williams' first max bet? Ben Sports 24/7's on the under 7. Robert Cherry talking about Rays -1.5. Can someone, if Lamont Williams still in the chat, can he do this again? Strategic investments like a Yankees team total over 3. Wow. Okay, I think it's going to be a tightly played contest. I'm going to go with the first 5 under 4. Pinnacle's moved it to 3.5. First 5 under 4 at bookmakers -115. First 5 under 4 -115. All right. David Ellie says, Jimmy, take the Rays. I do like this, and there could get Meadows back as well. Gas station said, driving to the Horse Ranch, California night for Mother's Day. Love that. Daryl Lyles liking Rays first 5. Dave LA giving a final score of 6-2 Rays. Interesting. I need more time to think about a side there. Seeing Joe and EC and Dave LA on other sides of the fence makes me want to not make a move. Okay, let's keep rolling. Mariners, Red Sox, Swanson, Rodriguez. I already took the over. Now, I know I didn't beat what Jim Rummy did on it, but man, I was capping IHF all night watching the Blazers Nuggets game. Man, it's hard, but you're right. That's the only way to succeed. That's the only way to succeed. Okay, so I already jumped on the full game over. I got 10 over 10 at -105. That was available even in my book. Now let's see what there is now. Wow, God, I should have waited. Unbelievable. Could have got -103 at 5 dimes now. Whatever. I'm on the over 10, Mariners, Red Sox. Should put that in here quickly. Over 10, -105. All right, we got to keep rolling. We got a brisk pace. We're going to be joined by Anna Merrick shortly to talk MMA. Okay, here's a dog I'm jumping on. Again, let's see if I should wait. I'm jumping on the Texas Rangers and Lance Lynn. I like Lance Lynn. And he's probably cost me more money than he's made me. Is this another spot? So there's already been a move on Houston. It opens at -245. There's already been a 17-cent move towards the Astros. Is money just going to keep coming in on Verlander? We have Jesus Cabrera says, Jimmy, the bag, show us a ticket. Thank you for joining us, Jesus Cabrera. Had some horrifying tickets with the Derby. All right, let's keep rolling. Rangers, Astros. Is more money going to come on Verlander at this point? That's what I need to know. Because if more money is going to come on Verlander, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. That's what I need to know. Jansen says Red Sox are already at 500. They are right now. Ilya Katz says Lance is going to get rocked. Dave LA liking Rangers first 5 team total over. Let's see what that is. First 5 team total over. Quickly, Texas Rangers first 5 team total over. Where is it? Sorry, here we go. Over 1.5 at +101. That's nice. That is real nice. But the whole thinking, my thinking will be that if Lance Lynn has to throw a beauty, the bartender says the Rangers destroyed Astros with their bats. Strategic Investment says, look for the Astros to win the series, taking 2 of 3 from their in-state and division rivals. Von Polo says, I love Texas, first 5 run line, money line, and under. Gas Station 2 said the overnight money came in on Lance Lynn. This is another spot where I think, Von Polo, I know Von Polo, I'm more than 20. That's beautiful, 1.5, I love it. I agree, that's a great spot. Now, my book won't let me bet it, but I can make it here, a play. But again, I don't necessarily need their bats to hit Verlander because I need Lance Lynn, but that's just too juicy. Okay, I'm going to take it. First 5, here, first 5, team total over 1.5 at plus 101. Russell Gordy says Lance gets touched and Mariners win. Yellow Jesus already took Rangers. And the over at plus 380. Oh, parlayed it. I like that. Okay, Rangers first 5 team total over 1.5 at plus 101. And then I think that I'm assuming more money is going to come in on the Astros. I think with all these dogs, more money is just going to come in on them. So if that's the case, then I will wait. Is that agreed upon universally? Don Mitchell says stay away. I'm not back Lance Lynn here. Okay, sorry, we didn't even talk about it. Astros and Rangers both hit righties very hard. Similar. Astros 274, 837 OPS. Rangers 260, 814 OPS. Verlander 5-1, third start of the season against the Rangers. 1-0, 4.09 ERA against Texas this year. Verlander allowed 4 runs, 5 hits, 7 strikeouts over 6 1/3 in his last outing. That was in Monterey. Lance Lynn, extra day rest. 4-1, 1.89 ERA, 7 career appearances against Houston. Russell Gordy says, Lance gets hit. Jimmy, don't do it. These are some dogs I want to jump on. But I'm going to wait. If it keeps going up, I'm going to wait. All right, Tigers, Twins. Twins are going to take care of business here, but they're too big of a favorite. Where's the value? The value might just be on a team total or over for the Twins. Hitting Tyson Ross. I mean, even on a run line, it makes no sense. Let's see what you get on the run line for the Twins. Here, point spreads, Sportsbook review. -1.5, but -105, but -120 up a bookmaker. That's a problem. That's a problem. Tigers at Twins, 58 Fahrenheit, clear, 4 miles per hour, wind out straight to way center. Tyson Ross looks real bad. But money's just going to keep coming in. Allen Action liking Tigers team total under. Odorizzi's being spectacular. Wow. It just moved to -105. Wow, okay. Ben Sports 24/7. Odorizzi, I'd rather back after a bad start, not when he's been spectacular. He was just named the AL Player of the Week. First Twins pitcher named AL Player of the Week since Francisco Liriano in 2011. Odorizzi, 4-0, 1.11 ERA, 23 strikeouts, 24 1/3 past 4 starts. He's rolling. Matt Randall says Tyson Ross is Tigers' only starter you can really count on. Top set like in the under. Michael Irvine talking Homer Bailey Day. I don't, at this point, I guess I need a little bit more time than I'm not going to have to figure out what's the best way to back the Twins here. I mean, team total over is just simply put, even though the bullpen's good, but it's 5.5 at plus 111. So you need 6 runs. Red Girl liking Twins first 5. I'm going to need more time to figure out how to do that. We don't have that time right now. Carlos Bro saying run line -115 with the Twinkies. No play for me. I get it. It's just, there's not the value that you need. And Odorizzi, I'd rather back him after something bad, not after he's been spectacular. Nutflash on says, word of advice, best thing to do is cap games yourself, then use the knowledge of the chat to help see edges and then make a decision based on all the information. Good cappers here. Much love, Nutflash Adam. Well said. There's our man, Trot Wham in the house. Okay, so I'm going to have to figure out exactly what to do with the Twins. Then we have Phillies, Royals, Arrieta, Bailey. We are going to have to move on right now. We're going to have to move on. Pirates, Cardinals. These are the games that we have still left. So we have the Arrieta Bailey situation where I think just fading Bailey, unless you're going to do team total overs, he's looked okay this year. He's not been terrible. 3-3, 5.25 ERA, 1.31 whip, 36 innings, 34 Ks, 13 walks, 4 homers. So we have Pirates, Cardinals, Trevor Williams, Adam Wainwright. We have Lauer versus Marquez, Padres, Rockies. The weather's a little better in Colorado today, 54 Fahrenheit. We got wind going out to right center. CT basis. Anyone else on the Padres? I think a few dogs bark tonight. I've got dogs too. David Morrissey also on Minnesota -1.5. Tom Marino says Odorizzi should regress to being in the majors a long time. He's not a great pitcher. I like Odorizzi, but not like this. Alan Action, here's a guy. This guy is our Tigers expert. Says, I agree, Jimmy, against almost any other team except Tigers. Tigers will not score more than 3 runs. Very interesting. Mr. Fat Fist says, take your time. The UFC weigh-ins are live right now. Well, no, we don't have time. We got to get in right now, but that's great that you're watching that. Okay, because we got some great fight handicappers with us right now. So Joe Anisi leading Pittsburgh first 5. Robert Cherry leading Cardinals. I don't want to back Wainwright. The Herb says Odorizzi said he started doing yoga this offseason, got much more flexible, made a big difference for him in pitching. Very interesting, Herb. Thank you for that. That's an interesting note that I did not know. Okay, and then let's see. We have the Braves Diamondbacks with the roof open. Teheran versus Greinke. Greinke's been sneaky, but with his much lower velocity, when he gets hit hard. 8 home runs allowed this year. We have Sanchez versus Maeda and Nationals Dodgers. And then we have the Reds Giants. So I just want to briefly touch on Reds Giants, and then we'll move on to UFC. Reds Giants, I'd like to touch on. First off, Dave LA's been monitoring teams leaving Colorado, and their bats have been falling apart. And I think that will happen here. I like the Reds to take care of business. Derek Rodriguez looks touch and go. We do have our San Francisco Giants expert in the chat right now. Dave LA says, that's my history. I bet over 9.5 in Padres vs. Rockies game 1's won 9 in 10 years. Wow, Dave LA. Got to copy and paste that. Lamont Williams, what was your max bet? Somehow I'd missed that and didn't copy and paste that. Okay, here we go. And Nutflush Allen. He thinks that the bats are going to be coming tonight. Reds -1 is what Dave LA's play is on. Robert Cherry's on Reds -1.5 plus 134. I am going to be on the Reds for sure here. For sure. So Reds, let's see what I'm getting here. Sorry, just quickly, this will be the very last game, and then we'll move on to MMA. Reds, full game. Here we go. Line shopping here at sportsbookreview.com. Reds, money line is -136. That's at 5 dimes. And I may add some team total overs. I may not. I'm not entirely sure what we're going to get from Rodriguez. And then the -1.5 here for the Reds. -1.5 is at plus 130. That's the best. That's at 5 dimes and Heritage. So Reds, money line's -136. Sorry, guys, -1. All right, we're about to get into UFC 237 Rio de Janeiro. Thug named Rose. So -1.5 at plus 130. And I wonder if there should be some team totals that we hit or some overs that we believe in here, even though Castillo's a beast. It opened at 7. It's now at 7.5. You can still get 7 at Heritage. Matt Reynolds says, I love Castillo, but when does he have a bad outing? Mikey D chanting for Anna Merrick. And where's Lamont Williams? Oh, that's his Lamont, Tampa Bay first 5 money line, first 5 unders, your max bet, or have you given a max bet yet? Okay, we need to move on here. I will go over all my plays very, very quickly here. Very, very quickly. And then we'll bring in Anna Merrick and only focus on UFC for the rest of the card. So I'm on Cubs first 5 -120. I will be taking the Orioles, but I think that this line's going to keep going up. And I need to think about it more because Dave LA's heavy on it, or not heavy, but on the Angels. White Sox, we have a pitching change in Toronto. I am going to take the White Sox. I just got to see what's happening. I don't want to make a bet that's off the board. And then Marlins, Mets, I'm off. Yankees, Rays, I'm on the first 5 under 4 at -115. Mariners, Red Sox, I'm on the over 10 at -105. Rangers, Astros, I'm going to take the Rangers, but I'm just going to wait for the right time. First 5 team total over 1.5 at plus 101 is what I'm on right now. Tom Marino says Giants are hitting right now, but I'm telling you, we've watched this. We've been tracking this, and Dave Allen's been tracking this. These teams leaving Colorado leave their bats on the plane. So my only other play at this point is the Reds -1 and -136 and plus 130. All right, let's bring on our guy, our MMA expert and American. It is UFC 237, and I hope that I have a front row seat for the bounce back. Last week's UFC got us right in the drink hole, Clint, and I believe in you. And our cappers in the chat believe in you. Can't wait to hear your breakdown of this event. First off, joining us from Phoenix, Arizona on this Friday morning. How are you doing today?
Jimmy, I am hungry. I'm pissed off. I hate last week. Every other capper that does baseball, basketball, all that stuff, hockey, you guys get to have a bad night and rinse that taste out of your mouth the very next day. I've been sitting here stewing all week. I've done the walk of shame all week. I'm still wearing the same tattered dress that got me in trouble last Saturday. Every single time. So let me tell you, I should change my name because I am Donald Cerrone's side piece. I am Donald Cerrone's bottom bitch because every single time that man comes to town, I get fucked.
That's a funny, it did hit us right in the wallet, but that was very humorous. And let me tell you, Clint, that tattered dress really makes your pussy pop. I think you're going to have a giant week and a giant night. Let's get right to it. I'm bringing up the UFC odds here at sportsbookreview.com, and we got some bangers on this. So first off, tell me a little bit about the setting. We're in Rio de Janeiro. How does that play into your capping breakdown?
So Rio is a huge spot for the UFC. I mean, MMA arguably originated in Brazil. I mean, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu has really put mixed martial arts on the map way back in the day with Royce Gracie and stuff like that. So it's got a real rich history in Brazil. It's always special when they go there. And we've got legends on this card top to bottom, guys that we've seen since the very beginning. And one thing that Brazil is known for, it's a lot like Russia was when we talked about that. There's some serious home cooking. Some of these Brazilian fighters, they get some questionable calls. They get the edge. The Brazilian fans are insane. They chant, "You're going to die," against the people who are facing Brazilian competition. So it's a tall order to go into Brazil and win. And because of that, I always take a little bit of extra. I lean a little bit further over to the Brazilian fighters whenever I cap these.
Wow, I'm excited. I'm excited to hear your bounce back spot. The last time you had a bad, so I believe you've only had 2 bad weeks in this year. And the last time you had a bad week, I knew you were going to bounce back, and that's when I started tailing. That was the first time I started tailing. So let's get right back to the glory. The first fight you want to talk about, and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing these names right because I don't know Thiago Moises that well, but is it Kurt Holobaugh versus Thiago Moises? And Kurt Holobaugh opening at plus 135, a big move towards Kurt. We're now at plus 100, a 35-cent move towards Kurt. Break this down for me.
Well, you absolutely nailed the pronunciation as far as I'm aware, but we are going to be on that line move. If you guys follow me on Twitter, this is where it comes in handy to be a follower of mine on Twitter. I tweeted that play out when he was plus 130. So we got ahead of that line move, and we're going to be on Kurt Holobaugh this week. So both these guys are young up-and-comers. Neither of them have had a very long stint in the UFC, and Kurt Holobaugh is 0-2. So we're getting a nice juicy line on him when he should theoretically be the favorite here because of the 2 guys that he fought. He fought some absolute monsters that are either undefeated or they have maybe 1 loss on their record, and he looked very good against them. In his last fight, he actually clipped the guy, dropped him in the first round, was making him look stupid on the feet, and then got excited to rush in there and get his first UFC win, and a Hail Mary armbar caught him, and he had to tap out. So he was in complete control of that fight up until he slipped up and just got a little too excited. And that's a young guy mistake, big bright lights. You're in the UFC finally, and you just want to get that TKO. I mean, I can't really blame him for rushing in for that one. His opponent, Thiago Moises, is in a very similar situation where he hasn't really fought much of anybody either. He came in and faced Beneil Dariush in his UFC debut, and he got ground out. He put up absolutely no fight whatsoever. Well, our boy Holobaugh, he's a world champion blue and purple belt Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner. So even though you're like, he's not a brown belt, he's not a black belt, but he is a world-class purple belt. That puts him a notch above what you would expect for a purple belt. So when you've got 2 young up-and-coming fighters like this, I think Kurt keeps it on the feet. He's a pressure fighter. He puts together 4, 5, 6 punch combos. He's just going to overwhelm Moises. I think he TKOs him in round 2.
Yeah. Mr. Fatfist saying slight lean to Kurt because of the line. Both guys have not won in the UFC yet. People backing this spot. Murphy Jr. saying Holobaugh is a good dog. People backing this. I like it. All right, let's keep rolling. Next up, Ryan Spann versus Antonio Rogerio Nogueira. Nogueira opening up at plus 150, being a huge move towards Nogueira, now plus 115. Wow. Break this down for me. Who you like?
This is another one where we're taking the dog, Jimmy. I mean, I know we took it right in the drink hole last week, but my strategy has been soundproof. We're up over 30 units in 2019 because I picked these spots where there are live dogs. Sometimes variance is a bitch in MMA, but I'm not getting away from it. This is my strategy. This is how I play the game, and it's always worked. We're going to bounce back because of this. So we're going to take the dog money on Little Nog, Antonio Rogerio Nogueira. He's over 40 years old, and I don't normally like betting fighters that are over 40 years old, but Ryan Spann is not a spring chicken himself. He was not a very good MMA fighter, and he got it focused up and put it together late in his career. He's on a good run right now, 4 or 5 fights, but he's chinny. He has a problem with leaving that chin open. He's going to have the height advantage. He'll have the reach advantage, but he leaves himself wide open to get hit. The other thing he likes to do is jump guillotines. So he's going to jump on top of Nog, who is a legendary black belt. That's just a bad idea. You do not want to be on your back with Little Nogueira on top of you raining down bombs. Nog's punching and boxing is something that's always been the staple of his strategy in MMA. And when you're an aging fighter, the last thing to go is your power. So if Nog connects just one time, that's all we need, and Ryan Spann is going down. I think Nog catches him over the course of a 15-round fight, and I think the only way that Ryan Spann can fight is by kind of staying on the outside and peppering him with kicks, and that's not going to get it done. Nog's never shown that he's been chinny. The only people that have beat him are massive power punchers like Anthony Rumble Johnson or high caliber wrestlers like Ryan Bader, who's currently the light heavyweight and heavyweight champion over in Bellator. Ryan Spann's neither of those. I just don't think he has the skills that it takes to beat Nog, even though Nog is old.
Fight Analyst is on the other side, says Ryan Spann wins round 1. Murphy Jr. with you says Nog by KO. Spann is chinny. Mr. Fatfist says, I'm on Spann. Nogueira has been a jobber for a while now. Again, Fight Analyst says, I can't see Nog winning this fight. Very, very exciting. Very, very exciting. Okay, let's keep rolling. Next one, we have a pick'em. We're at a pick'em with Laureano Staropoli versus Thiago Alves. It's a pick'em on almost every single book out there. A Bet Online giving a little minus 115 to Staropoli. But other than that, it's a pick'em. Who do you like here?
So just a quick comment on that last fight with Nog being a jobber. He's only lost to top 5 and top 10 opposition in the UFC. Every single time they give him somebody outside of the top 10, he KOs them. So you might think he's a jobber based on the fact that he's he doesn't fight that often in the UFC. But when he does, if he's not facing top 10 opposition, he wins. So if you think Ryan Spann's in the top 10, that's fine. I'm not going to hold that against you. But he better be if he's going to come out and beat Nog. Anyway, moving on. We're going on to Thiago Alves. We're going to be on my boy Alves. We got him by decision plus 300 a couple months ago, if you guys remember that one. That was a Brazilian robbery. And the reason that we bet him on the prop by decision was because he was fighting in Brazil. It was a very close fight, and that's exactly what I was talking about at the beginning of the show. He's going to get the edge. If this is a close fight, Thiago Alves is going to win. So Staropoli, I've got some thoughts on this kid. He's 9-1, and it might be the most padded record I've ever seen inside the UFC. So let me just break this down for you. His first UFC opponent, Hector Aldana, is 4-2 now after dropping that fight to Staropoli, and he's 0-2 in the UFC. Before that, to get in the UFC, he beat a guy that's 6-5, who's now 6-6. Before that, he fought a 1-0 fighter. Before that, he fought a 1-1 fighter. Before that, he fought a 1-0 and an 0-0 fighter. And that guy has 0-2 on his record, with both of those losses coming to Staropoli. He's fought nobody. Now, Thiago Alves might be getting a little bit older, but he still has some phenomenal Muay Thai technique. And this kid is taking a massive step up in competition. He's not going from young, hungry lions to his UFC debut to taking on an aging veteran. He's going from nobody to a world-class UFC veteran. And we're getting it at a pick'em price in Alves' hometown, where the judges are going to be far more on his side. Oh yeah, Alves all day.
Alves all day. Beautiful. Murphy Jr., though, saying, Staropoli, I love it, these odds. Only risk is he gets robbed. I like it. So we got Alves. Let's keep rolling. Next up, we got Alexander Volkanovski versus Jose Aldo. Aldo opens as a minus 145 favorite. And bet down. Money coming in on Volkanovski. We have a 14-cent move towards Volkanovski. Who do you like here?
Now, this is one where I'm actually going to go with the favorite. Volkanovski is a very live dog, and I know a lot of sharp people that are on him. However, we're getting a very nice price on Jose Aldo now that that line's been bet down the way that it is. I think we got to take the favorite here. So Volkanovski is 19-1. The dude's legit, but he hasn't really fought anybody in the UFC either. The fight that he had last time that got him into this spot was against Chad Mendes. Volkanovski is essentially Chad Mendes 2.0. The way he fights is very, very similar to the way that Chad did. Chad was coming off of a performance-enhancing drug suspension and has since retired. That's not the same Chad Mendes that we've seen in the past. That was an old, broken, retired, and done Chad Mendes. So we've got to put a little bit of a question mark next to that victory. Jose Aldo, on the other hand, is on his revenge tour here in 2019. After dropping back-to-back losses to Max Holloway, he's crushed his last two opponents, showing us exactly why he got to the title and held it for so long in the first place. Everyone wrote him off, thought he was done, myself included, and he came back and shut me the hell up. So let's take a look at Jose Aldo's losses. The only two men in the UFC that have beaten Jose Aldo are Conor McGregor and Max Holloway. Two guys that are on the short list for the pound-for-pound best fighters in the world. And I think that Max Holloway is a paper, rock, scissors bad matchup for Jose Aldo. I don't think Jose Aldo will ever beat Max Holloway, to be truthful. Conor McGregor, on the other hand, that was a 13-second KO. You can say whatever you want about that. You can call it dominant, but that's a flash knockout. And Jose Aldo was heated and more emotional than we have ever seen him in the octagon leading up to that fight. I would love to see a rematch of that because I guarantee it doesn't go the same way the second time around, and it's probably a lot more competitive. So I've got a question mark next to that loss as well. Do we say that Volkanovski is on the level of Conor McGregor and Max Holloway? I don't think so. He's good. He's a pressure fighter, but he fights a lot like Chad Mendes and Frankie Edgar. Jose Aldo beat both Chad Mendes and Frankie Edgar twice apiece, and he beat them like a drum. This is a 3-round fight. It's not a 5-round main event. So Jose Aldo's not going to gas out in rounds 4 and 5 like we've seen him do before because the fight's not going to go that long. I think he's able to keep this fight on the feet. He will play the matador. He won't slow down like Chad Mendes did in the second round against Volkanovski, and he is in phenomenal shape. I tweeted out a picture of him right now. Sorry, not right now. Earlier this week, I tweeted a picture out of Jose Aldo. The dude is jacked like I've never seen before. He is ready to go. The King of Rio is back, and I'm on Jose Aldo.
And Merrick on Jose Aldo. Murphy Jr. saying, I'm on Volkan KO prop, but the value may well be on Aldo now. Mr. Fatfist says all over Aldo, but the fight analyst says Volkanovski at plus 115. Says Aldo's absorbed 8.6 strikes per minute in the last 2 wins. Wow, very, very exciting. Mr. Fatfist saying Jose's been looking unbelievable. And the fight analyst says Aldo has to get a finish early for him to win. Aldo fades as the fight goes on. All right, next up, Anderson Silva. Back in the octagon, opening at plus 135, and that has gone down. Money coming in on Anderson Silva now at plus 110. Are you backing Anderson Silva here?
I am backing Anderson Silva. We're going to get dog money on the GOAT, the greatest to ever play the game. And they are setting this one up. People are scared to death of this Jared Cannonier dude, and I've been watching him. He's not going to be able to do to Anderson Silva what he's done to some of his other opponents. And let's actually take a look at his record. He's 4-1 in his last 5. He started at heavyweight, got his ass in shape, went down to 205, realized, hey, I'm still too small for this division, and has dropped down to 185. His last win was against David Branch. And I want to say we were on that fight. I want to say we bet Cannonier on that fight. And David Branch is not the David Branch that we used to see. He was an absolute monster, and I was excited about that guy getting into the UFC finally. But these days, he's got 1 round in him. If he doesn't finish the fight in 1 round, he goes belly up and quits. So he was all over Cannonier in round 1, and then he came out for round 2 looking like a ghost, and Cannonier put it on him and got the TKO. Anderson Silva just went a full 3 rounds with the current interim champion, Israel Adesanya. He's still got it. He's still got the striking. He's still got the movement. He's still in decent shape, and he hasn't been touched up in his last couple fights by power punchers, so his chin is still intact. And if you think that this 35-year-old Cannonier is going to pick up MMA in the last couple of years and step in and be ready to strike with a guy like Anderson Silva, I got another thing for you. Silva is light years above this guy when it comes to the striking game, and Cannonier is not going to have the wrestling to be able to take a guy like Silva down. He's been defending the takedown, using his footwork to get away from guys like that his entire career. This is going to be a standing match, and a lot like the Thiago Alves spot, if this thing goes to decision, guess who's going to win? Anderson Silva's in his home country. There's no way he loses a decision here. I think he's going to be able to play the matador, stay on the outside. The crowd will roar every time he hits a leg kick, and Cannonier is not going to be able to connect with his chin because it's just too hard to hit Anderson Silva unless he's goofing off and sticks it out there for you like he did with Chris Weidman. We're all over the dog here. Let's roll with the Brazilians. Team Brazil, baby.
Everybody with you at first. So Fight Analyst says, great bet with Silva plus money. Joe Anisi says, I agree. Cannonier ain't that good. Mr. Fatfish says, I got him at plus 125, meaning Silva. And then Swiatek says, huge early move against Silva. Says, I'm no UFC capper, but I would never go against that big of a huge support for the other side. How do you feel about that?
Well, when it comes to MMA capping, the lines, they swing like crazy. It's not like a bunch of the other sports. People see what they want to see when it comes to MMA, and just because there's a big move doesn't necessarily mean they're correct. If you remember my play on Roxanne Modafferi at plus 300, money was pouring in against her from start to finish, and she was the rightful favorite. They lined that fight incorrectly. Cannonier has got the hype train behind him. Silva is old, and Cannonier's got power. They think he's going to be able to knock out an aging veteran. And I just think they're not taking into account the level of striking that Anderson Silva possesses and the level of takedown defense either. Everybody tries to get all over Cannonier and take him to the ground because they're scared he's going to hit them. Anderson Silva's going to stand with him and just stay out of the way. I think it's going to be close. I think it'll go to decision, and Anderson Silva might actually be able to put this guy away if he keeps it on him for the first 2 rounds. I could see a round 3 late TKO just because of his pinpoint accuracy. He hasn't slowed down that much.
Love these breakdowns. This is so exciting. Finally, we come to the big, big fight. A thug named Rose as a dog. Open at plus 120. Money comes in on Rose, plus 105. I can't wait to hear you break this down, and I hope that you're backing River Phoenix on this one.
I'm sorry, I can't get over the River Phoenix thing. So this fight, I think it's going to be pick 'em at fight time. I think you're going to see that line go up and down. It's going to bounce back and forth. This is really close. I know sharp people on both sides of this fight. I am going to be on a thug named Rose. You do not make the champion the underdog. It's just not something you do. She took Joanna Jędrzejczyk back-to-back fights to solidify that she's the best fighter in that division. The first time they fought, so first off, let me just say, Joanna is no joke. She was the reigning queen in that weight class, and no one had been able to hold a candle to her, including the challenger in this particular fight. She's got a big L on her record thanks to Joanna. So Joanna comes into that fight against Rose, and Rose crushes her in the first round, shuts her lights off. Joanna comes back pissed off and says it was a fluke, it won't happen again. They go the full 5 rounds, and Rose outclasses this woman on the feet. And she is world class. To be able to do that, that shows massive levels of improvement for Rose. Rose is a young girl. She's still improving. She's still learning and putting her game together. So she's going to come in here against Andrade, and we haven't seen her in about a year. That makes her dangerous. Who knows what she's been working on and doing that whole time? Knowing that she was going to fight Andrade, I'll bet you she's been working on her takedown defense, her escapes, and her stand-ups. And if you give a girl that improves at that rate that much time, I'll bet you she's going to be able to perform very well under these types of circumstances. Now, Andrade, she's a grappler and a power puncher. I don't think she's going to be able to hit Rose. It'll be like the Joanna fight, where she's going to come in marauding, taking big shots, swinging hard, and I think Rose is long, and she's going to have the reach advantage and the footwork advantage to be able to avoid the majority of the shots. Now, there's always that chance that she gets clipped, and if she does, Andrade has got some serious power, so she could end the night early for us. But I think Rose is going to be able to stick and move, get up, escape, scramble, and keep this thing alive until the later rounds. And if Andrade slows down even just a little bit, I think Rose will piece her up and either win a decision, or she might even be able to clip her, take her back, and choke her out.
Wow, absolutely wild, exciting breakdown. What a card we have here. What a card.
It's a good one.
Carlos Bro saying Rose may have to knock her out. If it goes to the judges, she's going to lose on decision. It says, don't you think there's a local bias? Murphy Jr. says, I can see Thug being too clever for Andrade. She also has very underrated power. Andrade leaves her chin in the air. Fight analyst says, Rose was 1-1 going that fight with JJ. Styles makes fights, and Rose was the perfect opponent for JJ. Andrade has been on a tear. Wow, incredibly exciting. Thank you so much for joining us, Anna Merrick. Let's just quickly go over all of Anna Merrick's action. Hollabaugh plus 112. Lil Nog plus 125. Thiago Alves minus 107. Jose Aldo minus 129. Anderson Silva plus 132. And a thug named Rose at plus 109. And Merrick, thank you so much for joining us. We've gone a little bit long, so we've got to shut this bad boy down, put a bow on it. Where can we find you on Twitter? Tell us a little bit about your podcast.
At Die Hard MMA Podcast. I break this whole thing down. Give me a follow on Twitter. If there's ever a good line that I'm liking, I'll tweet it out early so we make these big line movements pay. This week, I'm rocking my alma mater, TNT Mixed Martial Arts, where I got my blue belt. So shout out to my coach, Scott Tenenbaum. Thank you for having me. Best of luck, Jimmy, and everybody in the chat. Let's kill it this week. Let's get that money back and get off the schneid.
Our guy, Anna Merrick. Thank you to all the gappers in the chat. Thank you to everybody who watched this show. We're going to have a big afternoon. Looks like we're rolling in IIHF. Getting off to a nice start there. Sorry, Anna Merrick, while I got you, AN says, what was his favorite play? Do you have one play on this card you like the best?
Oh, that is a tough question on this card. So I would say that my favorite play is between Kurt Hollabaugh and Thiago Alves. Those are probably my top two spots just because of the home bias with Alves and the step up in competition for his opponent. And then Hollabaugh, I really think he's just the better of the two fighters and shouldn't be the underdog.
I love it so much. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let's have a great afternoon. Let's cash on the Cubs first 5. Come back in the black with the IIHF. We got 2 more games going on at 2 o'clock. And I may get a beautiful hedge spot or even a middle. Could even get myself a middle. But much love to you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Leche Halos Bookmakers!